Welcome in to another episode of the Player's Perspective Uncensored. Got my host, Leroy Hickerson, with me, and got a Louisville legend, NBA great, all-time great in the building, a dear friend, and even better person than he is a basketball player, man, and just a great, genuine guy and a dear friend of mine. We got Rajon Rondo in the building today. Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Appreciate you, Lo. Glad to be here finally.
Already, man. Yes, sir. Well, let's dive in, man. I know, in the last couple of years, man, you've kind of gotten into the bourbon game a little bit. Tell me some that you like, that you kind of try on a regular.
Well, my favorite is the Wooford. I gotta go with the Wooford.
Okay. Nice. Can't go wrong with that.
I actually just started double oak.
Now that's it right there. That's top 5 for me. That's probably the one I started on.
You're the expert at it, so I kind of listen to the podcast and see what you're talking about to figure out, which way to go.
Already. Well, man, let's go ahead and jump into the podcast. And before we even get to the basketball aspect, let's talk about the Rajon Rondo Foundation, what it means to you. You do so much for so many people, so many kids, adults, friends, family. Talk about your foundation and what it means to you.
Well, it first started off with just me wanting to be a mentor and supporting young youth. Being from a small city, as we're all from, we don't have a lot of positive role models that I think we can possibly look up to. So for me personally, me being in the spotlight, me doing what I've done in my career, it means nothing if I don't get back to my community. So I was able to find a great person to run it, actually Leroy's auntie, Yvette Gentry, who's done a hell of a job. But once you have the right person who sees your vision and is able to go out in the city and attack it, it comes together beautifully. And that's what I've been trying to do the last couple of years. And even more so now than ever, into my career, tail end of my career, I'm able to dive in a little bit more in the community, especially what we got going on now in the city. So many young that are killing at a young age. Shooters now are 12 and 13 years old. So, that messes with me every day. Try to find a solution to figure out what we can give these kids motives and initiatives to try to go a different route. So that's what we focus on, to trying to help the kids. Yeah.
Right. Now, before you were a star in the NBA, you were a 2-sport athlete when you were younger. Football, played basketball. That's how we met, playing football. Now, which one was your first love, basketball or football? And what made you choose basketball ultimately in the long run?
Well, actually, I played baseball as well. My first 2 sports were football and baseball. I picked up basketball a little bit older. Obviously, I grew up in the neighborhood. I grew up on College Court. And, as the guys got older, it's 7, 8 guys in the neighborhood that were able to play. So kind of basketball, we kind of cling more towards basketball and pitch back tackle with football. So like I said, I played basketball, started around I was like 10 years old. Played both sports, tailed off in baseball when I was around maybe 12, 13. So I go to high school, just football, basketball, focus on those 2. And the thing that kind of, I guess made me lean towards basketball more was my relationship with my high school coach, Phil Bibby, who's still my mentor to this day. The football coach and I didn't, have the best relationship. He wanted me to practice in the summertime. And I was like, man, I'd rather not practice in 100-degree weather when I can be in the gym with my boys hooping. You know what I mean? Like, I give it y'all October come, November when school starts. And he was like, no, you can't do that. You got to pick. I was like, well, it's been real. I'm stay with my boys. Like I said, all my homies was basketball. So, and I didn't understand it as me being a quarterback, why I had to put the uniform on, in 90-degree weather and go outside and hit. I'm like, there was no purpose. So I stuck with basketball.
Yeah. That cold weather ended it for me, man. It's different now with global warming. Winters ain't the same as where when we were younger, man. We had like 3 and 4 and, 7, 8 inches of snow. And now you don't even hardly get no snow. It don't even get below 50 in the winter now.
Right.
Man. So me and you had a conversation. We were in the gym one day after workout, and we were just talking about when we were younger. And you said that you never really dreamed or had aspirations of playing in the NBA. And it kind of shocked me. You said, man, I was just playing just to play. I didn't really have aspirations of making it to the NBA. Because me, it was always a dream. It was a goal for me. So it kind of shocked me for you to have the success and the stature that you have and really achieve so much and not really have had that drive from the very beginning. So just talk about a turning point of when it really kind of clicked for you And yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna take it back a little further. Like I said, growing up, like I was outside. Like I said, it was a neighborhood full of kids. We didn't have cable to where we had games or we watching games. We didn't watch. I didn't. People laugh all the time. Like I never watched Jordan growing up, really. You know what I mean? Like I didn't watch sports. I was just outside. I was active. I wasn't a fan of Louisville or Kentucky. We had no pro team, so it was really nothing to watch. But comedy shows and Martin and shit like that on TV. So I was outside. Come in, hungry, go to sleep. That's it. So that was just kind of my thing. So growing up, it wasn't like, oh, I want to be like something on TV because I never saw anybody. Like I said, in Louisville, we don't have any role models in the city to where you feel like you can be or have any aspirations to be like. So it didn't really cross my mind that being an NBA player was possible. Grew up, played the game, loved to play the game. But once I realized had opportunity to make it was when I went to Oak Hill Academy. Even at Louisville, when I was hooping, I got, I think I had a scoring record for LIT, a Louisville Invitational Tournament, but none of that still, stuck out to me as like I can be a pro until I got to Oak Hill Academy. Once I got to Oak Hill, teammate, still best friend to this day, Josh Smith, he was getting recruited by the league. And I'm like, they come to see Josh. I ain't too bad either. I'm putting up some
Right.
like, it's a possibility I could really do this. So that's when I started kind of like locked in, like, try to have the discipline, focus, and just the mindset to go get it.
Right. Now, coming out of Oak Hill, let's talk about your recruitment. I was at the University of Louisville, and I know Rick Pitino was there, and we were trying to tell him to recruit you, but they were so gung-ho on Sebastian Telfair. And everybody knew Sebastian was going to go to the NBA. But at one point, did you want to go to Louisville, and did you take it personal that Louisville, kind of sort of try to put you on the back burner and then try to come in last minute, like, oh, well, we're not going to get Sebastian, well, will you still come?
Well,
and he was like, man, the hell with y'all. I'm going UK.
Nah, well, I can't throw Rick under the bus, like that. So,
Okay,
to be
well,
honest,
I'll throw him up under for you then.
Listen though, but I'm gonna tell you, Rick, something you might not even remember. But Rick offered me, I think like my sophomore year, he invited my mom and Vivian up into the office. He was like, we want to offer you, but it was early. I mean, I don't want to commit that early. I didn't know if I wanted to be home at that particular time, if I wanted to go away. So like I said, it was too early for me to commit. So people don't know that he did offer me. But then once my senior year came around, obviously the scholarship was given to Sebastian. And even like during the McDonald's game, Bash told me, he's like, I'm not going to Louisville. Like, you can have a scholarship. But in my mind already, it really didn't make a difference. And then I actually ended up talking to you about going there. And you was like, Rick's hard on the Louisville kids. And I was like, shit, I don't know if I'm gonna survive. We might butt heads if I go that motherfucker. Meanwhile, I end up butting head with the man down the street anyway. So Tubby Smith. But,
right.
It is what it is. But like I said, I think you had a big influence on why I didn't go, to Louisville. You know what I mean? Like I thought that what happened with Hurt and Bender, like I was thinking like, okay, well maybe he does have a hard on for Louisville kids. You know what I mean? You don't want you went to Mel, you were able to fight through it and go through what the bush he put you through and make it. I might not have survived. Kind of like other guys. You know what I mean? So
right.
I appreciate the advice. I got to the end goal, so it was no hard feelings about the saying people that I got a scholarship or I didn't. Shit, my goal was to make it to the league. I didn't give a damn where I played college at. And like I said earlier, I didn't grow up a Louisville, Kentucky fan. I wanted to be close to home. Kentucky had 5 seniors leaving. I would have an opportunity to come in and play right away. I took it.
Now let me ask you this: if you didn't go to UK, where do you think you would have went to?
Man, I might have went to USC. I think Henry Bibby was out there. He was the coach at the time. And,
Henry Bibby was trying to throw that bag too. Hey, I know about Henry Bibby.
Yeah, my guy. He or maybe Georgia, but Georgia, they were going through like violations with the SEC. I think they were on probation. So I think what was it, Felton, Coach Felton down there? He was
Coach Dennis Felton, yeah.
Yeah, he was there. So I wanted to go kind of play for him, but they had too many like regulations and violations. They weren't going to be able to make the tournament or something like that. So I was like, fuck, forget it.
Right. Playing at UK. Talk to me about your experience there, the U of L UK game. Obviously, y'all stole one from us, but
you say stole one?
I knew that was coming.
Stole one. That was a classic.
But talk about your experience in the big blue uniform, man, and going to the Elite Eight and just the success that you were able to have there, all-time steals records, all defensive, all SEC player, becoming a first-round draft pick. Just talk about your experience, once you were in a big blue uniform.
Man, it was unbelievable, man. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Like I said, I didn't watch college basketball or grow up, any fans of any sport really. So once I got to UK, just the magnitude of, being on TV, the criticism, the scrutiny you get just because, you got that uniform on. So understanding that it's the most, known organization, college campus, university all the time, you know what I mean, basketball
Right.
wise, that sense. So me going there, having fans from all over everywhere I go through the airport travel, even to this day now, especially back home with my foundation, my support, so many UK fans that follow you for life. And it's a lifetime uh, partnership, fan base that loves you forever. And, I gave them all when I was at UK and forever grateful for the opportunity that Tevin gave me. I'm glad I did choose UK. And I was blessed and I've been fortunate to play for, the top of the top. Meaning UK, I played for Boston and the Lakers organization. So it doesn't get any bigger than that. And those fans are the most loyal fans I've ever had in my career. Those three sports teams.
Right. Now, after your sophomore year, enter the draft. Get drafted 21st, I believe, to the Phoenix Suns. You get traded 22nd to the Phoenix Suns. You get traded to the Boston Celtics. Talk about your early years in Boston, because they had a couple other point guards. They had Delonte West. They had Sebastian Telfair, who was already there. So you were coming in and, they kind of made you the low man on the totem pole. And, they was playing these other guys. And on top of that, guys weren't really winning. So talk about, your early years and the early struggles of being your first year in Boston.
Man, it was tough, man. Like I said, I was coming from UK. All we was taught, I was expected was to win. And coming to my first year as a Celtic, rookie year, we had lost 18 games that year. And I was probably hell to be around, man. I was just so telling you, people that lived with me, my brother, my girl, like, man, I was, you come on me, it was a silent car ride home. I might not eat that night, you might not eat. Like it was bad. I was so loose. So I wasn't expecting to lose that often in the league. And I was, distraught thinking like, damn, is this the league? Like this is possible to lose 18 in a row or just being a trash or a terrible organization at the time in my mind, because I think they had won in 20 years. So, things were looking great. I'm going to practice every day, feeling like I'm busting my man's ass, not getting it done. I'm thinking I'm going in one game. I play good, as a rookie, you don't know what you're going to do. Like you said, I'm third string point guard. I come in, have a good game. Maybe I have 8 and 6 in like 12 minutes. Next game, I don't play. You know what I mean? So it was kind of frustrated. Understand like we weren't a top tier team. Like it's not like we were fighting for anything. We still had to have an opportunity to play as I want. Was frustrating. And if I didn't have the positive people around me, the mentors like Doug Bibby, my agent, my brother telling me, Cream always rises to the top, because I was frustrated because I wasn't playing. And I just stayed in the gym and kept working, man. And then 12 months later, obviously full circle, the crazy turnaround of my career, I won a championship at 21. So it was tough going through those first, 12 months as a Celtic, understanding that, tomorrow's not promised. I was also in the trade with KG at first. We had 7 players go, but first couple of days of trades where the rumors were going around, my name was in a couple of those trades. So my career would have been completely different, if I go to Minnesota.
So how come you weren't in the trade?
Think about it. So KG always tell this story that he saw like a highlight of me. I think I scored like maybe 5 points in like 3 seconds. It was in New York. We played the Knicks. I got like a steal, scored again, and one type of thing. So he said that one play in particular like was the reason why he wanted to keep me. He told Danny, don't put me in the trade, and voila. that's how I think that's how much control and opinion he had on the organization, obviously, and he was right.
So before we get to the big three, give me a rookie hazing story. Was there any hazing? Did Paul Pierce or any of the vets make you, do any rookie hazing?
I had P he was my vet, and I had Michael Olumekandi, and then we had Wally Zerbiak. Those were our vets. So Michael and Wally didn't really have us do anything. P was the one that'll make us do some wild shit. So the crazy thing I had to do was probably stand up on the flight. Me and my boy Alan Ray, we couldn't let because they were gambling in the middle, so we couldn't allow the students to walk past. We had to serving their food, getting their drinks, you know what I mean? Like kind of just making sure we were the guys that were serving them and handing out food and whatever they asked of us for like 4-hour flight to LA. So it was cool. It wasn't too bad. Like so we got paid. So man, it wasn't bad, no crazy popcorn, no stories like anything. We kind of did what we were told and they looked out for us.
Nice.
It's not like
So,
that anymore today. They don't even rookies don't even get hazed nowadays. It's so
wow.
funny.
Wow. So now you find out the big three's coming. Well, two others are coming. You know, you got Ray Allen coming, you got KG coming to join you and Paul Pierce. You going into your second year, not a whole lot of playing experience. And, you know, everybody's talking about the big three, but at the same time, people may have questioned, well, you know, we got a young point guard. You know, you heard rumors of maybe trying to bring Sam Cassell in. What was your initial thoughts and reactions when it finally came together that, you know, they were coming with these, you know, big three?
I was like, it's go time. You know, I was like, shit, this is what you asked for. You know, you've been complaining and calling your mentors and whining about, you know, you need to be playing. So now this opportunity. You know, obviously the work I put in, just believe and trust what I was doing and continue to get better. So I was excited for the moment. And again, I never really watched Ray Allen play. I never watched Kevin Garnett play. So I wasn't in awe of those guys coming, you know, being a part of the organization. It was like, okay, cool, I got some really good fucking talented players. Let me figure out we can put this pieces together and make it work. That's kind of how the mindset went from you know losing 18 to now. Okay, now we're supposed to win a championship team. We're supposed to win the championship this year. So it was locked in from the go. Amazing leaders that I had, you know, on their roster that year in particular. Big Three, Sam, Doc, you know what I mean? Coach, my man, Armand Hill was a great mentor of mine that year. Just helping me through all the adversity, you know what I mean? Like being able to balance, keeping all the guys happy at 20 years old, you know what I mean? It wasn't easy, but at the same time, it was a challenge that I wanted to take on. And I feel like I can do it. Obviously, hearing all the critics and the doubters, you know, he's this, that, and the third. It's like, all right, cool. Like, you know, keep them coming, keep the negativity coming. And,
Right.
you know, I'm already self-motivated, so it really didn't matter. And I'm always betting on myself.
So what helped you guys gel in the beginning? Because ultimately you won a championship the first year. What helped everything gel so quickly with so many personalities, egos, and star powers all coming together for one team?
Well, it started with the leaders. It started with the Big Three sacrificing from day one, and I really believe that us taking that trip to Rome helped us bond right away. You know, in a foreign country, you know, people speak different languages, so we kind of all we had was ourselves. You know, we go to dinner every night. We get to learn one another, get to talk about what we like, what we don't like, laugh, joke, play cards. So right away, that chemistry was built from day one, which, you know, we like a 12-hour plane ride. You know what I mean? So all those things to me come in accountability, come into play when you try to, you know, get teams to bond. And everyone we didn't, like I said, we were different ages. I think KG and them were 30 at the time, I'm 20. So it's not like we had a lot of things in common, but at the same time, we were put in a situation where we had to kind of gel and get to understand and learn one another and become really close. And I think that was how we picked it up so quickly and went out there and fought for one another each night.
Right. Now, you guys had some epic battles. You know, it's always kind of like LeBron versus Boston. You know, then it became, you know, Miami versus Boston. You guys had battles with Kobe in the finals. Talk about some of those experiences and just the atmosphere of those games sometimes during the playoff runs, man, because they were exciting. As a fan of not only yours, but of the game, they were just exciting to watch, man. So how was it, to be in playing those games?
I mean, it was electrifying looking back. You know, when I was in those moments, those times, it was just, you know, it was next game mentality. You know, I really didn't get caught up. I was, you know, able to channel out the crowd, the atmosphere. It was always, you know, whatever happened on the court. So I didn't really care about, you know, where I played at, who we played against. It was just the mindset of, you know, staying locked in and cutting out everything around me. But playing in the Garden was unreal. You know, those playoff years, those runs we had in Boston, the 08 run we had in 07. You know, Game 7 against Atlanta at the crib. You know, Game 7 against, you know, Cleveland. It's like those were unbelievable games and moments in my career that, you know, will forever be, you know, vivid memories for me because the fan base there is unreal. You know, like I said, they really know the game. They're locked in, and they want to win. They know that they're the game. So that's fast forward to what I'm looking forward to this year is trying to get to that moment back here out in LA because we missed it with the bubble last year. So looking forward to like making a deep run this year with these guys. But It's been unbelievable, man. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to go through those type of moments in those games. Big game, a lot of game 7 experiences. RP playing a game against Kobe, one of the greatest minds in the game. That was my biggest challenge. I love to play against guys that were smarter, just as smart or smarter than me. So it was like a chess match. Love playing against LeBron. Love going against him. He's one of the smartest I've ever played against, obviously. But those battles were some of the best I've ever think of, and that's what life's about. It's about challenges. It's about overcoming adversity, and like I said, kind of outsmarting the next man.
Now, when the big three came, you were in your second year. And as you guys went through the battles that you talked about, you started to grow, your experience became stronger, your mentality became strong, you became a bigger part. And now you look at that as the big four. It's no longer the big three. You ascended to becoming one of the best point guards in the NBA in a time where the NBA was probably the toughest position. Everybody talked about the Eastern Conference matchups between you and the up-and-coming Derrick Rose, or it was you and Chris Paul, or it was you and Darren Williams. The point guard position, there was no nights off. So just talk about sort of your growth in becoming that big four and just really becoming the engine of the team that the big three sort of became to depend on you to create a lot of things for them.
I got to give those guys credit, man. It's not easy. Being able to, I guess, in a sense, it is easy to be humble when you have so much success on your own. One the best for the next person beside you. I think Doc had a lot to do with it. He preached sacrifice and one the best for the next person beside you. So that's kind of was our mindset, and them allowing me to grow each year and to become, a 3-4 or 4-time All-Star. I couldn't have did it without those guys willing to, take a step back and sacrifice and let me dominate the ball a little bit more, or, let me call certain plays. So it was a collective effort. I think I benefit a lot, obviously, playing with those guys, and I think they felt the same way. I wanted to make their job a lot easier. I wanted to think for those guys. I wanted to make those guys get easy buckets, increase their field goal percentage. So it was a challenge for me that I wanted the best for them as they wanted for me.
Now, was it, obviously family, have tough time, but, what was practice like? What was, the moments like when you sort of had through it, when you had adversity, what was those moments like?
Practice was fun, and those were the best times of my career because the way we competed in practice. I mean, it was, every day I'm looking forward to, going against the guy I'm going against, Eddie House, Nate Robinson, whoever those guys I matched up. Same thing with Tony Allen, Paul Pierce, Perkin KG. Like we all, first and second unit, we would talk shit in the locker room. We would get on the court, talk shit, and we would go at it. And the best thing I loved about it is that after practice, we would play ones. We had a one-on-one game called G-unit runs, where we couldn't call fouls. I mean, unless it was like, nigga elbows you right in the mouth or something bleeding. But other than that, there wasn't no fouls called. And we used to go ahead and talk shit, and it was fun. It was fun to be a part of. We competed so much that practices, that games were so much easier.
Right. So now that the big three's been there, you guys have been success. You won a championship, but you guys have been a major power in the East and in the whole NBA. And so now moves are starting to get made. Guys are getting injured. Guys are getting older. You see Ray Allen depart, Paul Pierce and KG depart for Brooklyn. Now you're the sole star in Boston. How did you feel about the breakup of the big three? Obviously, it's a business, but, how did you feel about that? Feel like it was premature, or you felt like you could have made another run at it?
I definitely thought it was premature. But at that time, teams have to do what's best for them. I had just torn my ACL. So, I'm out. And they don't know when I'm coming back. I guess obviously they had better deals in place for older guys, and me now understand the business. It's all about getting better each year. Whatever the case may be, it's all about sacrificing and pulling the trigger, making deals that you've made of people they may not agree with, but at the time you got to do what's best for organizations. So, like I said, I had torn my ACL that year. They blew up the big three. I come back and it's just me. So, I was shocked at the same time, understanding at that time it definitely was a business. And then that year, particularly preseason, I had broke my hand. So I really didn't get I don't feel like I got a fair start that year to come in and make an impact on the team. But things happen for a reason. Like I said, Brad was cool. He came in, we had dinner right away at his crib and got to learn one another. And, I was okay with moving on to a different coach. But like I said, after that, it was a different type of story.
You left Boston. You go to Dallas, you go play in Chicago, you go play in Sacramento. Then you land in Los Angeles.
New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah, New Orleans. Now talk about, winning the championship in the bubble. Talk about the experience of just playing in the bubble, and, having that moment with your son. But just talk about the whole experience of playing with the Lakers and winning that championship in the bubble.
The bubble was really different for me. I had a different experience, I think, from everybody in the sense that I got to the bubble with 2 days in, I broke my thumb. So I go right back home. I go right back to LA. I'm there for like 4 weeks, rehab and getting my thumb together. So what I loved about it and what I appreciate that bubble experience for me is that just like these calls are on now, Frank Vogel was allowing me to be in the coaches meetings. So I'm waking up every day out here in LA, 4, 5 a.m., jumping on the calls, being, I was actually I started to record a couple of the conversations. So I was like, this could possibly be an NBA championship coaching conversation that we're having. So me just being in awe of understanding that, take advantage of this opportunity because, coaches aren't allowing, I don't think, I don't hear too many players doing that allowing players to come into coaches council, coaches meeting, coaching settings, hear the coaches, come out and be themselves, understanding what's better for the game plan, breaking down who's going to play. So just understanding what I want to transition to maybe next year or a couple years from now, going to Coach Frank allowed me to be in that moment, stay with the team, stay locked in, engaged on what's going on when I'm away out in California. So forever grateful for that opportunity, that experience. I think that's going to go a long way for me in my career. And, I owe that guy a lot. He's a real good guy to me. And obviously, he's the big reason why I'm back with Lakers now. He appreciates my mindset. But being in the bubble was unbelievable. Like I said, once I come back, I'm there for like another 6 weeks, and we lock in. We get to work. I was coming back again, I think game 3 against Portland. I'm ready. I'm warming up. I'm getting ready to go. I get on the table. I get stretched. Next thing you know, my back lock up. So I'm like, damn, I broke my thumb. My back lock up. Like, am I gonna ever play in the bubble? So like I said, I missed that series. Obviously get back in the Houston round, and the rest is history. But the best thing about that experience is I was allowed to have my son come in, and he was there for about 4 weeks. And he's in the gym with me every day. He's understanding how I work, how disciplined and how much sacrifice you have to make to play at this level, and how much focus we had. And he was able to come. No, he didn't come to film, but he was he's in the gym. He waited for me outside of film. We go eat lunch, dinner. We did everything together, and he was able to do his tutoring online in the bubble with me. So it was a great experience, and him being there winning a championship, where he's able to really understand, at 8 years old was unbelievable feeling.
Right. Now, over the course of your career, man, you've had some all-time great teammates. You played with KG, Paul Pierce. You played with Boogie Cousins. You played with Dirk, one of my personal favorites. You played with Dwayne Wade. You played with Jimmy Butler. You played with LeBron. You played with AD, Drew Holiday. Man, what's it been like just having, great teammates over the years?
Man, it's been a blessing, It's been a blessing to be around so many greats and, measure yourself and understand like the discipline and the work ethic on why these guys are who they are. And you appreciate being around greatness, iron sharpens iron. And there's no better, feeling than to be around, to go in the gym and have somebody beat you, or, you compete with somebody that's been in the league for 19, 20 years, So this opportunity, especially even this year alone, playing with so many, first ballot Hall of Famers, being around the great scorers in the game that we've witnessed. So it's been very humbling, and I definitely don't take it for granted, being able to play with those guys. And I hope my experience with those guys are mutual as far as me making the game easy for every one of those guys. They're all talented. I played with, like I said, the best of the games I've ever had. And this 16-year career, I'm going out, or 17 years in this career, wherever I end, it's a hell of a run. And I play with so many people that have had an impact on this game.
So now you're back with the Lakers for a second run after coming from the Los Angeles Clippers. Everybody's talking about you guys' age this year. Everybody's taking it in. What's you guys' mindset going this year and really set forth? And what's your goal as far as, I know you want to win a championship, but what's you guys' focus? Everybody talking about your age. What's you guys' plans? Really.
We just want to be the last man standing. We start obviously start tomorrow, and understanding that we've only had like a couple of days together. That's a little mini camp Ron just threw together in Vegas for us. So I just think our wisdom is going to be key. You know, like I said, if we can come together, flush the egos down the toilet, and understand that, you know, we have one common goal. The sky's the limit, and I think no one will be able to beat us. Not 4 times before we beat them 4 times. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So whatever it is, I was talking shit to James a couple weeks back. It was the weekend. I was like, I can't wait to see you guys. You know, hopefully, you know, it can go down as a classic in history. You know, if we can get to the finals with them guys and being able to, you know, mastermind and figure out, you know, how to beat, you know, James Harden and Kyrie, the KDs. Not to, you know, disrespect any other team or anything like that, but, you know, obviously the world would love to see that type of matchup. And damn near 20 Hall of Famers on the floor.
Right,
It'll
right.
be, so I want to be a part of it.
So if somebody was to ask you, what's the difference between the young Rondo and the vet Rondo? What would you say?
I would say ego. You know, I was, and I still have one at the same time. I think we all have egos, but at the same time, I'm a lot more humble now through my experience through all 16 years. As you grow, you mature, you understand that, you know, there's always 2 ways to look at things. And me having an understanding now that just change your perspective, you know, step back a little bit more, give it some time to escalate down or de-escalate and figure it out and then make your decision. So ego was definitely stood out for me. Young Rondo versus old Rondo.
Seemed like the vet Rondo, man, his creative skills have gotten a little bit better at distracting people from the foul line, man. You've become known for that.
I have fun out here now. Like I really enjoy just, you know, playing the game. Like I said, I don't even know half these guys come in the league. You know, I don't watch any college basketball, so you know, I'm on the scouting report. Like, who is this? Who is this? They like, you don't know him. I'm like, well, look, give me like 8 clips on him. Let me watch his game, and I'll figure out from there. But like, I don't really watch the young guys, so.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But now we reached the part of the podcast we call the barrel proof segment of rapid fire questions, man. We're going to shoot you some questions. Don't give it a whole lot of thought. Just give us your first answer. We're going to roll with it.
Do it.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of all-time great passers? Can't put yourself on there.
No, I can't put myself. Oh.
Nah, can't put yourself on there.
Nah, I'm just playing. Let's go Magic, Bron, J Kidd. You say all-time greatest passers or like?
Just your Mount Rushmore.
J Kidd. Huh? J Kidd. I gotta go with Stockton. I mean, that man got 15,000.
Yeah.
Even though
yeah.
It's different era. I got 7, and I'm like, I played 16 years. I don't care how long you play. That man got 15,000. You gotta, you know what I mean? Can't leave him out.
One celebrity you enjoy talking trash to courtside.
Talking trash too. I don't really talk trash in the celebrities courtside.
I thought you were gonna say you don't talk trash. I can say.
No, I don't say that.
Well, hold up.
I like talk trash to the players or somebody like that. I don't really courtside fans. I don't really hear. I don't give them that attention.
More meaningful to you, leading the league in assists or leading the league in steals?
Leading the league in assists. You know, steals, I mean, you can gamble and get steals all day long, but you know, that's what I did, you know, and I had KG and Perk behind me. So it wasn't like, you know, I like the assist, you know, it's a feel good play, you know, get everybody happy, keep people involved. So
I'll tell you what, bro, your instincts and just natural ability to just, I don't know, man, to innovate with your passing ability, man, is one of a kind. And I put you up there with, you know, with the Magics and, you know, the J Kids. You right up there with them. You know, I know you're not going to say it, but, you know, I'll say it for you, man. You definitely, we've talked about this the other day. I seen you cutting the lane and you seen a guy coming, you threw a left-hand wrap behind the back pass. It's probably only 3 or 4 other people that ever played that could probably make that pass. You, probably Steve Nash, Magic, and maybe Jason Kidd.
Ron can make that pass.
Man, with Ron can make that pass?
That pass, yo. I be watching, I be like, ooh, this nigga, he can pass that. He see it too. He see it too. Like he's fun to play with. He's fun. You know what's crazy? You know what I love about playing with all these greats, yo, is I know we get going off the segment, but like being able to watch film. You know what I mean? Like when I watch film, I watch film twice. I watch film on myself, and I watch film on my team defensively, and then I watch film on a superstar on the team to figure out how to get them easier shots or how they score the ball and what their tendencies are. So being able to do that is like, you know what I mean, is next level. So watching him, like when he's making plays and we passing the ball in the game, I didn't see it in the game when I watched film. I was like, damn, like, so I got to put him up there.
Yeah. It's a European guy. He actually played in the league a couple of years. Guy named Teodosic.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
He's tough. He one of the best.
I've seen him make some passes. Like I ain't seen. I'm like,
I can't make it. Yeah, he can make it. I know exactly what you're talking about. He can definitely do that.
Another great pass, man. Just a great point guard. If you could watch two players play from the past, who would they be?
I would say Magic. If I can watch Magic play. And maybe Rod Strickland. I didn't really see Rod Strickland play.
Rob was nice. Yeah. Rob was nice. I would probably say I would want to see Wilt play, and I want to see Pistol Pete play.
Okay.
I would probably say Pistol Pete. You're a chef now. You love cooking.
I wouldn't say I picked it up during the pandemic. And I love cooking for my kids now. If it ain't, you know what I mean? I cook for love. It ain't.
You got to put it in context.
I don't cook myself.
Favorite dish to cook?
Favorite dish. I love cooking. I would say this shrimp risotto. I got a shrimp risotto I can cook. That's pretty good.
Nice. Who's the bigger trash talker on your team, KG or Rasheed Wallace?
It's a tie. I mean, KG's gonna talk the loudest, but she is nonstop talking shit like all the time. I love it.
All right. We call this franchise sign away. We're gonna go creative passing. Not necessarily best passer, but creative passing.
Yes.
You got White Chocolate, you got Steve Nash, you got Jason Kidd. You keep two, you got to get rid of one. Creativity and imagination.
I'm gonna get rid of Nash. I gotta go White Chocolate one, Kidd two. I said that so quickly, but
that's tough.
White Chocolate had some passion, man.
He had a different bag.
He did. He started a trend.
Last question before we let you get out of here. The number one thing you tell young kids when you go and speak at a school or whether it be in an engagement, the number one thing you tell young kids about their future or about whatever it is you speak to them?
I just tell them just have the mindset, whatever you want to do. Anything's possible. I come from